Welcome back to another hour of Scotch Hour. I'm Noah.
And I'm Jesse.
All right, this is episode 249. Tonight we have Kilchoman Sauternes Cask 2025 or 2024. Then our shout outs to Get It Together is followed by Garnish Fusion Bakery and Bar as our restaurant review. And then our Smarter Challenge being movie review of Crime 101. Real quickly, thank you to all those who view us on YouTube and Rumble and listen to us on the many different podcast platforms. We do greatly appreciate all of you. If you do like our content, please like, share, and subscribe, or leave some comments down below. We'd love to hear your comments.
Scotch review.
All right. Well, we've had many a selection from the Kilchoman distillery, and this one is a newer treat. This is a 2024 edition. As mentioned, the Sauternes Cask matured. Now, the important part here is this 50% ABV Scotch isn't just finished in Sauternes casks. It is matured in such casks 4 or 5 years. And the cask itself, both fresh or first time and refill Sauternes casks, hand selected by Anthony Wills at the distillery there. But what's important also, a fun note, is a lot of the reused, refilled Sauternes casks are from their previous edition, which was over 6 years ago, when all they did was finish a Scotch in the Sauternes casks, not mature it in there. So we're going to experience something very great here. The Kilchoman Distillery is an Islay single malt distillery, again owned by Anthony Wills, founded in 2005. So the first new distillery on Islay in over 100 years. It has been operational ever since, and their water source is a small dam close to the distillery. They do have 2 wash stills, 2 spirit stills, an annual potential output of 500,000 liters per year. So pretty small on the scale of distilleries, but since it's only been open for 2020, oh man, we're going for 21 years, almost 21 years. That's pretty decent if they ever decide to expand. The distillery did begin production in December of 2005. And again, the first distillery built on Islay since 1908. They do use barley grown on site at their Rockside farms. So they do try to do their all-inclusive quality controlled there on their farm. And they do malt at their distillery as well. They do also get some malt from Port Ellen maltings and releases for separate bottlings depending on the source of the grain. One of 6 working distilleries with traditional floor maltings. Most of them have gone away from those traditional floor maltings, but they are one of 6 that still complete the process that way. Their first filled casks were filled on December 14th back in 2005, and most of their scotches that we have tried have been right around that 5 or 8 year aged mark. Now, of course, they have to be aged for at least 3 years to be considered a single malt Scotch. Part of the fun rules and laws there in Scotland. But we've had some great experiences, and I'm going to butcher most of these names. They have the Machirbe, the Lochgorm, the Seneg. They're 100% Islay. We've had both cask strength and then their watered down versions. This is literally what they do, is they add water to get it down to a lower ABV. But again, this one is at that 50% ABV, and we are excited to try this one. How about that tour information?
All right, so currently we are in the winter tour season, which runs from November through the end of February. They have 2 tours daily at 10:30 and 2 p.m. The adults are 25 Great British pounds. Children are 5 British pounds. It is 1 hour and 30 minutes long. Is the tour. And here you get to go through see the traditional process that goes into making their single malt farm style whiskeys. You have access to their traditional malting floor, still house, and during the experience, they'll have the option to try the latest 100% Isla release and a core range expression. Excuse me. And then currently, any children under the age of 8 can go for free.
Cheap dates.
Yeah, and if you're there right around lunchtime, you can also order a lunchtime package, but you just have to call the visitor center first and make that arrangement with them.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this Sauternes matured Scotch. Sauternes, and that's not at all how it looks like it's spelled, is a very renowned sweet white wine from the Bordeaux section there in France. Kilchoman traditional box that they use. This is a very interesting color. It's almost a mustard.
Okay, I'm glad you said it because I was going to say mustard. It looks like a mustard yellow to me.
Yeah, mustard yellow, but great looking bottle. I do enjoy what they do there. We're going to see if they continue the long-standing tradition here of not just a nice foil that's been pressed, but also a solid wood top and solid cork. I think Anthony Wills will please our palates, as he also tends to please the eye. There is definitely a nice solid wood topper. Kudos there. And a solid cork. So points for that.
No tip this time.
Yeah. Just the tip.
All right, how's it smelling? I mean, you're pouring it right there. Are you smelling it?
I'm enjoying it. It's got a nice sweet peat scent off the nose, and I'm a sucker for that. Like already I'm digging this. It's smelling pretty fantastic.
All right, real quickly, I guess it's time for our tasting notes for more speed. So cheers.
Cheers.
Kilchoman. I just like Kilchoman, man.
Kilchoman. What'd you do?
First off, the presentation. I'm not the biggest fan of the mustard color at all. I do like the gold foil though. And I do like how they stay true to their own design of using the box and their bottle and the wood in the cork. So I still gave them a 4 out of 5 for that. Nothing over the top because they didn't go over the top in the design or anything like that. And so that's 4 for that for presentation color. The color here I put here is a nice glistening gold tone. That a desired master's thief would want to steal. So I'm trying to connect this into Crime 101. But I think it has a nice glistening gold to it, especially in the light and stuff like that. So it's a really great color there. So I still gave that a 5 out of 5. The nose to me has mild peat smoke with some brine, apricot, honey, and I put here it's a nice, sweet, mild scent. Also with touches of pineapple and peach. I really did enjoy the nose. I gave the nose 28 points. Not to be outdone by the nose, I thought the palate was equally as strong. It's creamy and supple with notes of honey, apricot. I got tones or notes of banana, as well as some baked apple, pineapple. There is and Jesse will probably bring this up a little bit more than I will, but there is a slight burnt undertone in that palate there, which does not detract and actually adds to the palate, in my opinion. And near the end of the palate, you get some of that ginger spice going on. I really did enjoy the palate. Gave that 28 points there. The finish, I put here, it's medium to long in length. There's some mild fruit up front that gives way to that ginger spice. And as that ginger spice starts to mile out in the finish, I get this lingering smoked peat with brine, which I really enjoy. And to me, that finish warranted a 26 points there. And that gives me a grand total of 91. Black tie worthy? I want to say yes, but really because of the color, I probably would never take it to a black tie. I just really hate that color. So I would not want to represent that color. I wouldn't want that to represent me. I'd probably take something else. But really, the actual Scotch itself, I think, it could be like black tie worthy. But because of the color of the box and all that, I would not take it. I'd choose something else. Probably something with a more intricate design for black tie fair. So I guess ultimately I have to fall on the no side for that. Game night, yeah, I'd take it to game night. Spot on the shelf, sure. I'd say it's spot worthy because honestly, I don't know any other scotches that have been fully maturated in the Sauternes cask. So I think this is definitely shelf worthy, and which also would in some cases make it black tie worthy. You can tell I'm on the fence there. Let's see here. So is it a winning scotch? I'm gonna say no on the winning scotch, but I do think it will go great with a wonderful dessert. Honestly, I would love to taste it with a Jesse creme brulee.
Dude, I'm thinking that or carrot cake.
Oh, carrot cake.
I don't know why, but carrot cake just like...
Actually, I think carrot cake with the ginger and that creamy frosting there. I think that would make this like shine like impeccably.
I think so too.
So overall, I would almost put this in my hoard status. There's I don't know. I can almost see it in the hoard status, but I'm not quite sure if I'll go there or not. Anyways, that's my review. I'd love to hear what Jesse has to say on his.
All right. Well, my numbers are a little bit different than Noah's. And here's what's most interesting. Part of what you guys didn't get to hear while we were bantering back and forth talking about this for an hour was that this is not the most Islay of Kilchoman scotches we've had. And Islay scotches typically we expect to be smoky, peaty. If I'm really lucky, they're leathery, but also they're the briny. So we expect some of those pieces. The creamy, this has a lot of the qualities, but not in the same volumes as we might normally expect. So for me, I actually don't mind the mustard. And this is really weird, only because I actually think mustard goes really good with navy blues and with blacks. Now, would I
hence your shirt?
Yeah. Would I wear this color? Fuck no. But
only if the mustard dropped on his shirt.
Right. But I actually would take it to a black tie event. That would not bother me because it does and should stand out. So I don't mind the mustard color. However, they did not go over the top. And as we have really reevaluated even how we score different scotches, packages, colors, noses, palettes, everything. It is a 4 out of 5 for presentation. It's good. It's just not over the top. And that's kind of where it gets tricky, is because normally if I want to go to a black tie event, I want a 5 out of 5, but the color isn't so off-putting for me that I wouldn't take it to a black tie. I enjoy it. So 4 out of 5 for presentation. However, I will say, and it's kind of funny that you made this comment again while we were talking, the color is golden mustard, man. Like, it makes sense why, as you said it makes sense why they made the box this color.
That's funny you brought that up, because like I said that, but I did not use that in my color.
Dude, literally, it's golden mustard. One beautiful thing about Kilchoman, no color added, non-chill filtered. All of their natural ingredients. They're taking the time. I love the fact that Anthony Wills, who owns the distillery and founded it in 2005, takes the time to use quality ingredients, does the floor maltings, all of these processes, and then to go the extra mile, so to speak, and get those Sauternes casks from the Grave region of Bordeaux in France, and then you have them, some of them be first fill and others be refill. He does do a lot of great things. So 5 for color on the nose. Now here is something that's interesting. I like the nose. It's just not my high point. The nose, and you mentioned this, I wasn't getting it first, but as it opened up, there is honey. And I, after a long while, did finally start to get a hint of butterscotch. But beyond that, again, how is these 2 words I'm about to mention aren't smells, but it smells creamy and it smells buttery. But there are ripe fruits, the fruits being in particular pineapple and peach. The peach did not come out right up front. It had to sit for a moment before that came out. But then there are the pieces I love that I expect from Islay. Some sea salt, the peat smoke that's mild. And so ultimately the nose gets a 27 from me. The palate is my high point. The nose is good. The palate to me is great. And at first I was thinking 28. I actually changed my score to a 29 because we do have the choice. I will tell you right now, this Scotch is twice as good out of a full whiskey glass versus the Glencairn. Yeah, amen. Versus the Glencairn. The Glencairn has different nose qualities, but the palate out of a old fashioned is so much better. So on the palate, there is a beautiful. I'm gonna have a sip. A beautiful creamy sweetness. I'm getting some of that, as Noah mentioned. I would say there are burnt flavors in here, like a burnt caramel. There are also the tropical fruits. I'm going to say like grilled or burnt pineapple and peach. The peat smoke is throughout. It's not that it comes in waves. It's just consistent throughout. What's most interesting about the palate is towards the middle and the end, and it's actually sometimes even at the front if you get it out of the Glencairn, there is definitely a ginger spice kick. Not bad, but I really actually do love the pineapple that comes through, the peach that comes through, all of those smoked or burnt flavors, and the brine. The brine, again, creamy brine. This is where that palate is what I want from Islay. So Kilchoman, Anthony Wills, well done there. The palate is a win for me at a 29. The finish is my low point. And I think part of the reason that the finish is the low point is because the palate is so strong. It's beautiful, it's sweet, it's creamy, it's got the highs and the lows, the salt, the burnt caramel, the fruits, the pineapple and the peach. And then on the finish, the sweetness, it is lingering. The peat smoke is there. It's actually a rich texture. There is a rich texture. But as far as a body, that's the piece that just doesn't satiate the whole piece. So a 26 for me on the finish, overall a 91. As mentioned, now normally I would say Like it should be a 5 for presentation if you're taking it to a black tie event. I don't mind taking this to a black tie event. I would have fun discussing an Isla Scotch that was matured in Sauternes casks that was selected and the variations there. It would be a great conversation point and a lot of fun. And also, usually at black tie events, you got some great desserts. So I think that would be another way to test this palate and this Scotch with those desserts. I would also take it to a game night. It's not cheap, but it's not super pricey. Now, here's where the last two come in. It's not a winning Scotch for me. This is not the Scotch I'm going to if I just got a $20,000 bonus at work. However, I have to decide, is this the one I'm going to make for a spot on the shelf? I do love the fact that they did something different with the Sauternes casks and the maturation process. However, I will say that we've had some better Kilchomans in the sense of giving me that piece that I want. And so I would probably stay true to the Mahir Bay or the uniquely Isla pieces of their cask strengths. And get a little bit more of that peat and that smoke. The brine Kilchoman always does a great job of, along with the creaminess. But I think I would not make room for this if it meant taking one of the others that we have tried off the shelf.
It's time for our shout-outs.
Dude, I'm going to give my son and a daughter another shout out just for being beautiful human beings and making me want to be a human being as well. And then I want to give a shout out to all the Olympians. You all have a voice, but how dare you speak against the country that gave you the freedoms and the rights and the time to go and participate in what is supposed to be the greatest sporting spectacle on earth. But when you talk against the country that gave you that opportunity, you didn't deserve that opportunity. It disgusts me. Go try doing it for another country and then see how I just don't get it. Oh
man, you brought up a good point.
And then the last one, I cannot remember the gentleman's name right now. But he's inspired me to do some things in my own future. But he brings up a point and asks the question, what's one of the saddest things that you know of in life? And he was being interviewed, and his response was, one of the saddest things in life to me is that the first day so many men receive flowers is the day of their funeral. But
do guys really want flowers?
It doesn't matter about, do women really want flowers? Some do. They deserve them. I think women want the show, the grace, the presentation, the public announcement that you were worth these flowers.
I think this brings up a good point, though. I'm sure some guys appreciate receiving flowers or whatever, but is it more about receiving flowers or more about them being recognized? Because I think it's about them being recognized rather than receiving flowers.
I think it's both, in the sense of, here's why. You can get recognized in a million different ways. And one of the reasons that all of the ladies in my life have always received a lot of flowers from me is because it is a show of, I am giving you something that you can take care of. They may last 3 days. They may last 3 weeks. They are, much like all of us, going to die, and you get to appreciate them for a short period of time.
What's the Latin for that? What's the Latin to remember death?
Tempus fugit?
No, not tempus fugit.
Memento mori.
Yeah, memento mori. I think that's what flowers really remind you of is Momente Mori.
And that is a key piece to me, and that's why you know this about me. I spend sometimes thousands of dollars still to this day every summer planting flowers for myself, for the neighborhood. I love the fact that people walk by the yard and tell me how great it smells.
So I think that part's true. I think that part, but that's part of creating an environment.
So are flowers, like even the ones that will die in a week. That's part of like a momentary environment of watching something age very quickly. And what I can say for myself, and this as friends, watching friends age, watching my children age, watching my parent age, it actually makes me appreciate flowers that much more. It's a fucking tough thing to face.
There's a season for everything. There's a season for life.
I know
there's a season for birth. There's a season for wilting, and there's a season for death.
Yes, and it's tough. It's tough.
Restaurant review.
This week's restaurant review. All right, visit a new restaurant. Garnish Fusion Bakery, Bar, and Grill in Lone Tree. They do have 2 locations, another one in Greenwood Village.
They have 2 locations?
Yeah, there's another location in Greenwood Village. This particular location, very new, I think is fair to say. And it's interesting because I think it has so much potential. And I think we just missed out by not being there during buffet time on the weekend.
Yes and no. I think we also missed out because we went too early. Because they said that they didn't have any of their draft beers up yet.
That's right.
Which means that they might have actually set up those accounts yet. So it could be a little bit of both.
All right. You want to kick this one off? You know Indian food much better than I do.
Well, okay. I guess I'll kick this off. So, first off, the outside. This isn't a location we've been to before. It's an opposite of the Paradise Sports. I want to say Sports Bar and Grill, but that could be totally wrong on their name. Which is actually an Indian restaurant that's kind of a quasi sports bar, but it's opposite. It's near that location. It's opposite of them. The parking area actually has a lot of parking available. Lighting is very questionable though. So because of that, I still gave the outside a 5.
Oh, damn.
I guess you gave it a higher.
I just gave it a 6, but
however, when you walk into this establishment, I did like it. I thought it actually has like a lot of potential. Even though I say that, I only gave it a 7, but it was wide open. You can like the buffet area was there. They had multiple areas, which they obviously had closed off because it looks like they just recently opened. And but if I can only imagine if it's fully functional and operational with like a bunch of like guests there, that it would be actually a really nice looking restaurant. And honestly, what I saw when I was there, they were doing a very good job of keeping the place clean. They had a very strong regimen of cleaning stuff. So there was, unlike some restaurants where you see like wait staff like hanging around doing nothing, I did not see that in this restaurant. It seemed like a lot of the wait staff was always doing something, or like they're always cleaning something, or they're doing something. So I thought that was pretty good. So that's why I gave the inside a 7. Anytime I go to a new Indian restaurant, I always order the same thing. I get the tiki masala with garlic naan. That gives me a good standard to base things upon. And honestly, I thought they had one of the better tiki masalas I've had in a long time. In most cases, and you can, if you guys ever talk to my brother or reach out to my brother, Adam, he'll even admit that he thinks I have one of the better tiki masalas I'll say mine is solid, not one of the better ones. But this is one of the few times where I'm like, this tiki masala blows mine out of the water. I loved it. I thought it was great. Their garlic naan, here's where it gets a little bit wishy-washy. I liked the garlic naan. It had great butter. It had great flavor. It had nice crispiness to it. However, I wish there was a tad bit more of a garlic flavor to it. So for as far as Indian food goes, I gave this a 9. Service, when I first arrived, the person who greeted me, he asked me how many. I said 2. They said how many. I said 2 for dine-in. How many? I said 2 people to eat here. And the guy still said how many. And then he looks over at his boss and he said 2 people eat here. I'm like, and he said this in English to this guy. And he's like, oh, he nods his head. I'm like, did you not fucking understand me the other 3 times? Or like, what's the deal, dude?
Okay, USA.
Which now started making me think about, like, are these people here illegally and don't know how to speak our language? I have no idea. But because of the way this guy responded, it made me start questioning things. Anyhow, whether that's right or wrong, I did give the service a 7 because once the manager or owner or whoever he was stepped in, he kind of actually stepped in all the way. He served us the alcohol, and then they kept checking in on us like every few minutes. And honestly, with how many check-ins they got, I would not expect it from a place like this. I would expect it from more of a higher-end place. And because of that, I did give their service a 7. It might have gotten a higher rating on than that if they could actually speak English, most of the people, or knew how to whatever. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, it's kind of crazy, right? You go to Mexico, you go to Canada, you go to different countries, and English is not their first language, and they all speak English. And then you come to America, and you have people who can't speak English. Like, how fucking backwards is this?
Yeah, exactly. But ultimately, that gives the service a 7. The value, because of the service, because of like not having draft beer and stuff like that, I maybe I should have given it lower points than I did, but I gave it a 7 nonetheless. So 5, 7, 9, 7, 7. That gives me a grand total of a 7. Would I take a date there? It's not a destination point for me.
No.
So therefore,
Paradise is better, even though their service was questionable.
Paradise is better, and their service totally freaking sucks there. It's not a destination point, and I really would like it to be a destination point, but it just isn't a destination point. I would not really take a date there. And here's the thing, with Paradise being like across the parking lot, even with their shitty service, I probably would take
better atmosphere.
I probably would take my date to Paradise Quasi Indian Sports Book, whatever the fucking fusion that they have going on in that freaking mess over there. Then I went to this place.
Dude, I'd take the extra 4 minutes and drive over to the White Chocolate Grill.
I'm talking about for Indian food here.
Okay, all right.
But I'd meet a friend there. I would meet a friend there. I think they're Indian food. I think the actual dishes are great there at this place. So I would meet a friend there. But value, yeah, I don't know. Would I go back there again? I probably would go back there again because I do want to taste the dish that Jesse got, because I would like to. The whole reason going back a second time is trying things that I normally don't get, because I'm trying to make a a decision upon a restaurant, and so I try to keep things as consistent as possible with that type of ordering. But this next go around, kind of like what I did with Paradise the second time I went there, I definitely want to try Jesse's dish, and Jesse will introduce us to what his thoughts are now.
All right. Well, so we're talking about Garnish Fusion Bakery Bar and Grill in Lone Tree. I gave the exterior 1 point higher. I thought it wasn't bad. The truth is, though, I probably could have given it lower because it's just a fucking nightmare driving in, even though the parking lot's massive and it was empty because they're new and they don't have a ton of business. It's still, no matter what, it's not easy access. But otherwise, I had no problem with the exterior in my experience at that time. 6, interior. I think the interior has a ton of potential. However, I only gave it a 6 because it's very much a buffet style interior. We did not get the buffet because the buffet had shut down early, as we only learned with the sign on the door. Service, I gave a 7. I thought the service was good, not great. Same things Noah talked about. They were attentive. They did the basics, but the few times I could have used them, they weren't 100% there. It's like, and here's where it gets hard. Like, some of this is me comparing it to a week or two earlier, and some of the restaurants we've been to earlier, the White Chocolate Grill just fucking nailed it. And then going anywhere else,
fuck yeah, they did. Same with Thirsty Lion,
dude. Thirsty, yeah. Like after that, it's like, okay, now
both of your weeks, by the way.
Well, just after that, it's like, okay, we're slowing down. But the service is 7. The food, okay, so I believe. So I ordered the appetizer, chicken 65. This is what brought the score down. Because it was like boneless.
You should not have ordered that.
I should not have ordered that. It was like boneless chicken wings without any flavor. Like the spice was there. The chicken was great, but no flavor. The just no flavor. The garlic naan, exactly what Noah said. Fuck, where's the garlic? I did not taste garlic. They just put some fucking garlic on there. It would have improved the score. And then the lamb mango chicken curry with the rice. And actually, it was fucking delicious. Like, their score for the food is an 8. It would have been a 9 or a 10 if it wasn't for the chicken 65 or the garlic naan. But my dish was on point. It was delicious. I ate every drop. The value, at the end of the day, had some Voodoo Ranger beer. It's like $4 or $5 a can because they didn't have their taps on yet, but it was good. Ultimately, I gave the value an 8. Saying that, here's where it gets like curious and questionable. I would meet a friend there. I'd prefer to go during the buffet. I would not take a date there. It's just not a sexy restaurant. It's not a destination. Overall score is a 7. Here's where, again, like my food was delicious. Because of the atmosphere in general, am not inclined to race back and try something else. But that's probably because of the chicken 65 appetizer.
You did say it's their second location, right?
They've got one in Greenwood Village.
Is it right off of Arapahoe?
I think so. It says it's on Arapahoe Road when I looked earlier.
Oh. Okay, I think I've been to that other location. I think it's like right there by where Del Taco is.
That sounds right. Based on the map that I was looking at earlier when I was like...
Yeah, I didn't like that place. I actually hated that place.
Dude, like, I'm telling you...
Like, I tried it once and never went back again.
Yeah, things happen.
But this one, actually, I think the food tasted better than the one I went to. There.
My dish was delicious. I have no qualms. I had the lamb.
Bottom line here.
Mine was lamb. It was good.
Bottom line here. If you're going to do the mango dish, because I know you got the mango dish over at Paradise, Which place are you going to go to?
So here's what I fucking hated the questionable service at Paradise. I'm going back to Paradise for atmosphere, if nothing else. And also the dish was better.
So the mango dish at
The mango
Paradise.
dish at Paradise was still better.
All right, that's all I needed to know. Thanks. For all of you who are listening and want to partake in this, Paradise has, I think particularly because of one person, and oddly enough, it's that same person we always got.
Tragic. When you're watching your goddamn credit card statements because you don't trust a fool, that's when you know something's fucked up. Smarter Challenge! All right, Noah selected, and this is an interesting movie. Crime 101. Oh, pardon me. Now, Crime 101 is a movie. Let's start with the basics. It's a 2026 crime thriller film written and directed by Bart Layton. Now, Bart Layton hasn't done shit. And as far as what I've seen, as far as movies that I know, he may have done things that other people know. But his movie here, Crime 101, is based on a 2020 novella of the same name by Don Winslow. Here are some of the important pieces. This movie stars some great actors and actresses. Chris Hemsworth plays Michael James Davis, who is ultimately a notorious Los Angeles jewel thief. He does a good job. That's where I'm going to leave that. Mark Ruffalo is Detective Lou Lubenznik. I probably pronounced that wrong. A detective tracking Mike and the Highway 101 thieves. Barry Cogan. Dude, this guy plays like a psychotic, violent young biker thief. He's totally hateable. He does a pretty good job playing that. Halle Berry, dude, she looks fucking hot for a 59-year-old. I'm just gonna say that. As an insurance broker.
How old is she?
50 fucking 9.
I thought she was older than 59.
No, dude, it was 59. I figured she was like younger than that, but she's 50 fucking 9. Plays Sharon, an insurance broker who teams up with Mike, but then also betrays Mike. Fuck that shit. Here's the real win. Monica Barbaro plays Maya.
Hot.
Sex bomb.
Hottie.
Those are the main actors and actors. The basic line of the story is Mike is a thief and he's trying to get the hell out of the business, I think, is really the truth of the matter. But he ultimately ends up partnering with Sharon, trying to get a big score, 5/10 million, 5 for watches and diamonds, 5 for cash. But Mark Ruffalo falls in as Detective Lou and spoils the day, but not totally. It's a very interesting story. Noah and I both walked out of the theater wondering, what the fuck do we actually feel about this movie? Because it was a great movie. The entertainment watching the movie was great, but once you go beyond that, this is no John Wick in the sense of, I want to be John Wick. And
I don't even want to be the cop.
Dude, I don't want to be anyone in this fucking movie except for the guy fucking Maya. Right? Like, what?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, that's just it. It's like, none of these actors or actresses are actually really sexy characters, strong characters. I shouldn't say
even
sexy.
Maya's character is like not even that strong of a.
No, but she's beautiful, so I wasn't so worried about her character.
You worried about other things.
That's fucking tragic, right? Like, hey, how you doing?
All right, so I guess ultimately we'll start off with the basic overview. Thanks for giving us the brief synopsis. But basic overview, how you feel about the movie overall? I think you're starting to go there anyways.
My general feeling overall is, again, like the movie from beginning to end, nonstop entertainment, action, emotion, story. It's all there. What I wanted was a real win, and that's what I feel like I didn't get.
Okay, I agree with you. Like, it was very entertaining. It was action packed. There was no real like lulls in the action to where I felt like the movie slowed down to where it would make me fall asleep type of thing or anything like that. So I do definitely agree with you that it was at least paced well.
Yeah, it does a good job making even the bad people that are intended to be good. There are absolutely evil, wretched people, the biker guy, and they do a good job with that. But I wanted some happy, and I feel like what's missing is the happy.
So you think happy was missing?
Like, literally,
You didn't get the happy out of the ending. Spoiler, if you don't already know this by this point. You didn't get the happy out of the fact knowing that he went back into LA, sent her that card, if you will, saying, hopefully I didn't miss my chance with the picture of him.
hopefully it's not too late.
Yeah. To me, that seemed like that was like, and she left to go look for him. That kind of gives the indication like there's a happy ending that him and her are together.
Just possible happy.
It's possible happy, and it's also possible happy that he has enough money already saved because obviously he could buy nice cars and just freaking give them away to a cop who never busted him.
The other more important piece of that is he's still got to do something with his life. You still got to work. If you are not doing something with your life, you will get old and die.
So so this is a good point here. Is part of the reason why you feel the way you feel is do you feel like it left an opening to where he had no purpose left?
No.
Because
I think he's going after the girl, and I love that.
But
I
other than
think
the girl,
it's-
there's no purpose.
No. I think he's going after her for the chase, and the purpose is he wants a future life. And I'm absolutely projecting here, but with these pieces,
I think with the way I pose my question, you have to project.
right? But with projecting, it absolutely set up for a sequel, Crime 102, in my opinion. However, with this piece, he wants more. He wants her. He wants a family. He remembers being a kid. And that is only really transparent right at the end of the movie when he sends her the most likely only picture he has of him as a kid and his two
Foster brothers.
A, he's willing to give that and trust her with it. B, anyone who keeps a photo like that wants children. I actually 100% believe that. And so that's the one piece where I'm like, he wants a future, he wants peace, and Crime 102 fucking breaks it from him.
I think this brings up a good psychological question here. Is it possible for someone who goes through the foster system ends up being abused? Because I think there's
Hints of that, yeah.
There's hints of it.
Use and abuse.
There's no like outright saying that he was abused, but there's hints of it. And he gets caught up with less than favorable type of people.
Okay.
He obviously becomes like a mastermind in crime and stuff like that. Does someone like that have the possibility of living a normal life, which he kind of seems to desire.
I think the possibility is absolutely there. You and I both know this piece of, though, this is where character, drive.
But once he reaches the amount of money and he gets the girl he wants, can he just like let that all go?
That would be the harder piece. I would say yes. By the way, the only reason I'll base this on is my own father, and this is so fucking crazy and ironic because the reason I'm about to say you may not understand or may not relate to most people. My father smoked cigarettes a pack a day, I would venture, and drank most of his life. And then about 10 years ago, just like cold turkey quit. If it was not for my father, I don't know that I would have the faith and the trust and the belief that people can change. He is the one example that unequivocally I can be like, yeah, people can change. They have to want it and they have to do it. And that's the hard part. He fucking did it. And he makes, again, my dad, my mom, my son, my daughter all make me want to be a better man.
Change can happen, but it does take a lot of work and determination.
I'm planning on stopping drinking today.
And dedication. What is your favorite scene, I guess?
Oh my goodness. Actually, so here again, the action was nonstop. There were some great scenes in there, and I really loved a lot of them. I think one of my most favorite was the uncomfortable interaction between Mike and or James Davis, played by Chris Hemsworth, and Monica Barbaro, who plays Maya, as they're going through their first and second dates. Really their first date.
Are you talking about the restaurant at the first date? Because that's kind of like my favorite scene.
Dude, I fucking loved it. And
where they're like, she's like, do you really want to be here? Do you normally come here? And she's like, and he's like,
no. Fuck no. He's like, what do you want to eat? A burger.
he's like, I just thought this is where people take other people.
Well, and so I loved that scene because I've been there.
I've been there too, man.
And also,
it's innocent, but it's also like you're trying to impress, but it's also an innocent thing, and you just like you don't want to offend the other person because you just don't know what to expect.
Yes.
There's so much emotion that goes into that.
It was a sexy scene. It was sexually driven, and it was just fun. It was chaotic. And I think that's part of what was missing in some of the movie was the drama. And I hate to say that because I don't fucking want drama in my own life. But I love that. That was one of my favorite scenes, that restaurant relationship.
It's definitely one that stood out for me.
But the other one is when Hemsworth, not the first time he meets up with intentionally Halle Berry, who plays the character Sharon, but the second time when they go to the restaurant/bar and they're talking and she sizes him up and she's like, and this was so interesting to me, right? Because I'm like,
where she says everything about him.
Like she sizes him up and I'm like, holy shit, she's sizing me up. Like she just sized me up because she's like, well, okay, you want me to like tell you about you? Well, okay, X, Y, and Z, wearing a $12,000 watch. And I'm like, well, mine's not 12, but it's 10. And she's like, and you've got a jacket and either a freshly pressed shirt or a brand new shirt. So you're either always buying new clothes or you're OCD. And I'm like, I'm fucking OCD. I'm like this bitch I shouldn't say that. This young, beautiful 59-year-old just sized me up perfectly. Dude, she looks hot. Halle Berry looked amazing. Halle Berry,
for her age, she looked very beautiful.
She looked better than most 30-year-olds. I'm just gonna put it out there. I know she had her.
I'm not gonna say no.
That's just it. She had her monster days, and she did her other things, but
she did not look good in Monster, in my opinion.
I didn't mind her, but I'm right here. So if you want to go out and you can size me out for dinner and a drink, I'll pay.
But here's the thing, like working in insurance, you do size people up.
Right. Well, in any business, once you get beyond, I would say 30 years old, the moment you start to meet people, and here's what's tragic about this, it's prejudice. You start to size people up. I actually work diligently trying to not do that, but I still do it.
I'm going to say, at least in my field, which is life insurance and medical insurance.
That's your job. You do it.
Yeah, that's my job to do it. Like, and you do it, and you do get good at it after a certain time of it, after doing it. However, she's doing it on a much like higher level than I have, and but you can start picking apart people. You like when you do sales enough, and you go into people's homes enough, and you can start looking around, seeing things. You already know what's going to happen before they even say yes or no to the contract.
Going back to like the favorite one, it's still between Maya, who's played by Monica Barbaro, and
she's just like
James in that restaurant. It's just ultimately like I don't know why here's my question is I love her in this scene because I want this woman who sees me as a fucked up mess, but is still like...
Does she see him as a fucked up mess because she is a fucked up mess?
I think that's the problem. That's the struggle. But I love that scene because I just want a woman who is like, dude, I see you. And I'm okay with it.
I'm sure there's a statistic out there, and I didn't look it up, but how many people randomly like hook up or meet up due to them meeting because of an accident?
He got rear-ended. No strap on.
She rear-ended him. Yeah, but I'm sure there's like, because of like that traumatic event.
I'm guessing the percent of those people is very slim. However, it probably does in fact happen.
I imagine it's like 10 or 12%.
No way, man. I
don't know.
I'm guessing like 1/10 of or 1/12 of 1%.
I think it's higher than 1%.
No, dude. Someone fucking rear ends me.
All right, so we gotta Google this shit.
How fucking retarded is a man who gets rear ended by a woman driving and then is like, I want to marry you? That's just retard stats.
I bet you it happens more often than you think.
All right. Well,
I'm going to put how many people hook up after.
Oh, my God. We're going there.
A car accident. I mean, there's got to be a stat out there somewhere that talks about this. And maybe I just...
Remember the old lady who almost rear-ended you a year and a half ago? Well, a year and 2 months ago now? You were not trying to date her.
No, but the chick that hit me going 60 miles an hour, that could have been a possibility.
Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you?
Exactly.
I'm going back to someone rear-ends me, and I'm like, what the fuck? No. You can drive. That's the first step. You probably, like, what happens when she cooks? Burns down your house. No say. Ain't gonna have it say.
Well, according to the Google machine, it says there's no specific data on how many people, quote unquote, hook up and then develop a relationship after a car accident. So that number remains.
So we're just going to leave this out there. Right? For all of our viewers, please let us know if you would ever consider, and I mean this sincerely, I don't have
I want to know, because like, I'll tell you first, like, as you're talking about, like, my Christmas Eve thing, hell no. But the one who rear-ended me going like 60 miles an hour and like fucked up my back, I might have, because she was kind of hot.
I'm fucking lost right here. I can't. Someone just did me wrong. Hey, you want a date? No. God's like.
Yeah, there might have been a whole bunch of warning signs about the other girl, but she was hot.
Dude, he's been better off with the smoking chick that tried to revenge you and wrecked into someone else.
The smoking chick who was trying to kill me and wrecked into somebody else. I want to know.
Dude,
nothing to do with that freaking
Dude, that intensity, that emotion, that volatility in bed.
Hell no.
You're like, my neck hurts today. You'd be like, I can't move. She broke me. And then she got up, smoked a cigarette, and did it again.
All right, who's your favorite character, dude?
Oh, my favorite character is... This is hard. Shoot, I should have known this was coming. I think my favorite character is actually going to stick with the main character, Chris Hemsworth, who plays Mike or James Davis. I do think he was real. I actually relate to him a ton because he doesn't want to be a bad guy.
I think he's my favorite character too.
He's a good guy in so many ways, is the bottom line.
He is a good guy in so many ways. I think when you look at the other characters, you look at Mark Ruffalo's character, who's the cop.
He's boring.
He is boring. I don't think enough his life gets better after he gets his wife leaves him. Yeah. By the way, meets up with the actual person. After he meets up with the person he's seeking out, his life actually gets better.
I just gotta mention his estranged wife is Jennifer Jason Leigh. Oh my fucking God, what happened?
I had no clue that was her. I don't want to be Halle Berry's character either, not because I'm not a female, but
she betrayed Mike or James Davis. That's why I don't like her.
And she also betrays her own ethics, her own code.
That's the question, and that's the struggle.
And Mark Ruffalo, I wouldn't want to be him either because he betrays his own code.
Right, but here's the thing: is I understand. The person who stays
true to his own code throughout the whole thing is the main character.
I know, and that is why I like James Davis.
Exactly.
No, that's the thing, and it's so interesting that we come here again after so many shows talking about our code and our morals and our ethics and where we stand. Because I agree, it's like all these other people broke and bent, and I'm not saying I don't understand. I
would have respected Halle Berry's character if she held to her code, but she didn't. She breaks after her boss tells her you're 51 and
53.
50. Oh yeah,
53.
Sorry, you're 53, and the only reason why we hired you back then is because you're hot, and now you're not hot.
Yeah,
that's why you brought in this other chick, which I didn't think the white chick that they brought in to replace Halle Berry was.
That's just it. She didn't look as good as Halle Berry. Like Halle Berry, I'm right here.
I think Halle Berry looked way hotter at 5'3", than this other chick that they brought in. The other chick that she brought in might have been more bubbly and happy or whatever, but I think Halle Berry had way more going on.
Well, and that's an interesting perspective too, because the other chick looked younger. Halle Berry was genuine to me, and that's what I loved.
That's what I love too. And that's why I would have loved if someone's being if someone's going to be my insurance agent, I want them to be genuine with me. And I didn't get that from the other chick. Yeah, she looked hot, but whatever, fuck that. And she actually didn't look that hot.
I didn't think she was attractive at all.
I mean, to be honest,
I didn't think she was attractive at all.
I was going to say, I totally agree with you. Because, honestly, other than her having blonde hair, she didn't check any other boxes for me.
Yeah, blonde hair doesn't check a box. Hair doesn't check a box for me.
Yeah, I know it does for you. I do like blonde hair, but ultimately, that didn't check it.
I'm like, IQ can speak.
You know what box
eloquently.
that's an automatic veto on my end. Here's an automatic veto box. I like IKEA. If you like IKEA, that's an automatic veto box.
How do we get here? I'm like, all right, she doesn't know how to accessorize. Negative.
IKEA, I'm sorry. I've been to the place once, felt like I was in a fucking mousetrap, fucking hated that place, and I will never go back in my whole entire life.
Still never been in an IKEA.
Yeah, well, I don't recommend it. And I will say never go there.
I will admit, though, I was once in a traffic hold stop wait on I-25 because the IKEA sign was wavering back and forth, and they thought it was going to fall and ruin traffic, so they stopped traffic.
Well, fuck IKEA.
Again, I agree. I've never been in there.
Dude, the place, the way they have it, honestly, the way they have it set up is they don't allow for like, most places allow you to go in and out. No, they allow for you to go in. And you have to go fucking through a whole mousetrap maze fucking bullshit in order to get out. Fuck that place. Fuck the owners. Fuck everything about that place. And I would probably try the fucking Swedish meatballs that they have there because supposedly they're supposed to Swedish
Dude,
meatballs.
that's literally what I was going to say is like the only thing I hear about from people is like, you gotta try the Swedish meatballs.
The Swedish
And I'm like,
meatballs and
fuck your
noodles are
balls.
supposedly
you know what's
really
delicious?
good.
My meatballs.
But you know what? I ain't gonna go to that fucking place because there's no easy way to go in and go out. So fuck them. Fuck their Swedish meatballs. Fuck everything about that place.
Agreed.
I don't know how I got into that fucking tangent, but whatever.
And this is how we.
I don't know how many F bombs I just dropped, but I'm sure I exceeded the amount that we're allowed to have.
I just, both of my exes I appreciate.
If F them too.
No.
Just joking.
Both of my exes I appreciate. They're beautiful people.
Like
gave me-
Marilyn Manson, beautiful people. Beautiful.
No. They gave me so much in life and nothing. I don't regret anything with either of them. What I would say is, yeah, we'll leave that alone. They're just both beautiful people. I appreciate everything they did.
So, okay, I guess I went like 24 offline, but is there anything else you want to say about Crime 101? Other than
That's all I was gonna say is like both my exes like were
Texas.
ride or dies. No, both my exes were ride or dies and beautiful people, and I appreciate.
guys?
Well, they died relationship wise. I actually only wish both of them the best. I genuinely appreciate and wish I could have. I regret much with those. But it is what it is, and I failed, and we move forward.
All right, so what's our next week's challenge?
All right, next week's Smarter Challenge. All right. It's going to be a coin toss. Maybe it should still be a coin toss.
Okay.
All right, we're going to fucking do this one way or that. We're going to do a coin toss. I fucking bought this coin.
He brought his
ages
challenge
ago.
coins out again.
Dude, I fucking love this coin. I actually do love this coin.
Well, what are they?
This is the love or hate.
We need to get you like one that's like fucking like that has to do with like fucking I don't know.
Christianity.
Well, I was gonna say
Crusades.
Crusades versus whatever.
They're out there. All right. Hate. Love. We got two things. There's a movie coming out. How to Make a Killing. That's option one.
I think that should be. I think that should be the only option.
So you want that to be love.
Sure.
Then Noah's version of hate is to watch the most recent version with Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo, and the original version, Steve McQueen.
This is good.
And Faye Dunaway of...
Yes.
What's the movie called? Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah, Thomas Crown Affair.
All right, so Love, How to Make a Killing, Hate.
Both movies.
Both Thomas Crown Affairs and Loves and Hates.
Can we
up on
flip that around? Because,
What do you
I love Thomas Crown Affair.
Dude, I fucking love Thomas Crown Affair too.
I don't want to say I hate the other movie either, though.
So you want Love to be Thomas Crown Affair and Hate to be How to Make a Killing?
Yeah.
All right. Love.
Because hate is in that word, so I think hate goes with evil.
Okay. Dude, I'm like both, because I started watching the more recent version of Thomas Crown Affair last night, and I had to go to bed because it was 3 o'clock, and I had to get up at 5 and go to work.
Oh, I haven't watched that one in such a long time.
Dude.
I love that movie, though. It's like one of my favorite movies.
Dude, I got it on Blu-ray. You got it on 500 different types of digital channels.
Maybe I do.
All right. So hate is How to Make a Killing, because we don't want to make a killing. But Love is Thomas Crown Affair, old versus new. Well, that shit just went over there. I'll grab it. Try this again. Can't be Uncle Riri.
Does it have to land on the table, or what's
I just want it in my hand so I can do it again.
Hey, how about however it lands on the table?
All right, let's do that. All right, how it lands on the table. There it is. Thomas Crown Affair, old versus new.
All right, old versus new. I love it. I love it. Love it. You want to know why I love it?
Why?
Because I've never seen the original.
Oh, dude, it's good, but it's like so many things. It's
I love the second, the remake with
Crown Acquisitions, Pierce Brosnan, Rene
Pierce,
Russo.
yeah. I love that version, but I've never seen the one with what's his name?
Yeah, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, yes.
And yeah, Faye Dunaway, who plays the psychiatrist at the beginning and in the middle of the second one. She looked good too.
All right. Well, if you guys made it this far, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate you. I know it's a little bit longer version than normal, but we had a lot of fun. So hopefully you had a lot of fun. And to all of you who watch us on YouTube and Rumble, thank you very much. And to all of you who listen to us on the many podcast platforms, we thank you as well. And Jesse's going to close us out with very important statements or knowledges or nuggets, if you will, that we need to know until our next show.
Remember, life is great. That does not mean it's always going to be easy. In fact, the difficult times make the better times that much better. Also, remember, please do not drink and drive. Drink responsibly, like we do. Drink at home, stay at home, and then wrap it up.
Sure.
And until next time. Scotchman!
Cheers.
Cheers.
We hope you enjoyed this evening's episode of Scotch Hour. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have not done so already, please become a patron member, with memberships starting as low as $1 a month. Thank you, and hopefully you have a wonderful evening.